皆様ごきげんよう。鳴杜水月の屋根裏配信へようこそいらっしゃいました。Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Study with Mizuki 2023. はい、いただきマリオさん、カソテニさん、大気ありがとうございます。キャッツソルトさん、カイさん、Good evening. あとおはようございます。ということで、Good morning, Good evening, Good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. I hope you're having the best day of your life. ということでね、本日は8月7日っていうことで、Oh wait, why am I speaking Japanese? ちょっと待って。I wasn't sure why I was speaking Japanese. So today is the first Monday of the month of August. So just like I announced a while ago, I decided to, sorry for certain reasons, decided to do this follow-up stream only once a month on the first Sunday, not Sunday, the first Monday of the month. And so it's been a while, hasn't it? ということで、ループさんもごきげんよう。はい、アジアカさんも Good evening. はい、こんばんは。ということで、when was the last time that we did this? Oh, it was literally a month ago. ちょっと最後にこれやったのがね、1ヶ月前なんですけれども、随分経ってますね。I guess it's been a while. A whole month has passed. Again, today is the day for the follow-up stream. For those of you who are new here, I'm hosting this challenge called Study with Mizuki 2023. As you can tell from the number 2023, doesn't mean this will be the last one. I'm hoping to host something like this every year. But the challenge for this year is that I challenged people to try to memorize 1,000 Japanese words in the course of 6 months, which is definitely a big challenge. Hi, April 1st to September 30th in the course of 6 months. The reason why it's 6 months is because I'm going into a hiatus probably mid-October. But thank you so much for all of you who has tried along the ways, and it's okay if you feel like you failed it. No, there's no failing in challenges like this. Any kind of growth is a growth. And so if you would like, you can check the video that explains this. It's on the description box down below, and join the challenge as much as you want. That's it. Welcome today at 7 a.m. to make desserts for the party. 眠いですわ。眠そう。わお。めちゃくちゃ眠そうじゃないですか。はい。ということで、so this is how this follow-up stream goes. I featured a post that was made using the hashtag StudyWithMizuki2023. I checked my Instagram this afternoon and I don't think I saw anything, so I hope that I didn't miss anything. I checked YouTube and stuff too. I really hope I didn't miss anything. So for those of you who are streamers or VTubers, if you post anything, I try to put your information on the comments later on. And so hopefully that would encourage you to participate as well. We'll see. Hi. Hello, says I'm from Thailand. Hello! Do-chan Chandich-san kana? I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. Welcome! Konbanwa! Okay, so we're gonna start with... お疲れ様です。アレックさん、こんばんは。Hello, hello. Okay, so we're gonna start with some featured posts. We have 3 today. やったね。やったね。ということで、let us start. めっちゃでかい、めっちゃでかい。Sorry. めっちゃでかかったわ。I didn't realize I cut off the part. Oh wait, ちょっと待って。Wait, before we move on to this one, I forgot there's something else. I have a tracker. もうグダグダ。もう全然グダグダだわ。これかな? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I have a tracker. For those of you who are interested, you can download this for free. This is my vocab tracker. This is an a massive if, okay? If you have been following along the timeline, you would have memorized how many? 700 new words. 700 new Japanese words. That is quite a bit. Yaba. But again, if not, it's fine. I just wanted to show off the cute colors on the tracker because I think the colors are cute. Pretty, right? So, なんかちょっと色が可愛いんでね、ちょっと可愛い色見せびらかしたかったっていうのがちょっとありますね。はい。Okay, that's it for now. と、 let's go on to the featured posts. ザフラ、ごめんなさい。I think I chopped off the top half of your name, so it's a bit hard for me to read. ごめんなさい。で、Zafram Naiman さんかな Okay, sorry about butchering your name, but day 1, return to learn Japanese. Learning kanji from Mizuki Meido channel. やったね。Easy to follow and somehow give me motivation to study Japanese back. Yes, I know that this wasn't the featured post. I mean, it wasn't with the tag. It wasn't posted with the tag, but I thought of featuring it because why not? たくさん漢字があります。Good job. Look at all the 漢字。すごっ。歯を磨くとか着替える、走る、勉強する、仕事する、帰る、読む、寝る。I'm guessing this is from my everyday Japanese 15 Japanese verbs for everyday life type of a video. Good job! I don't know if this will help, but I do have a little bit of an advice for the future that will make your life easier. Since you're already using a gridded sheet, a gridded paper page, it's really nice to use this for your game. In Japan, we usually study or we usually practice our handwritings by using those grids. If you look at any kanji or hiragana worksheets of some sort, you'll see that most likely you'll see those squares with 4 different parts, with 4 different like smaller squares in it. If you look at that, it's going to be easier for you to realize where the middle line vertically and horizontally will be, which will help you with being able to balance your handwritings or your letters better. I don't know if that will help, but that's something that you can try to work on if you'd like. I don't know if that will help, but yeah. Thank you so much for trying ということでありがとうございました。Okay, everybody, it's clap time. パチパチパチパチパチパチパチの時間です。パチパチ Good job! Nice! ほんとね。お疲れ様です。では次行きましょう。We're gonna move on to the next. やったパチパチパチ素晴らしい。Good job, good job. ということで、we have カラさん。カラさん、I believe is also a VTuber. カラさん、ありがとうございます。Here's some Japanese words and phrases I learned throughout last week. I will try to make a habit of writing down new words instead of just putting it in straight to Anki. My writing clearly needs a lot of work ってことですけど、I don't know what カラさん means by working on handwriting. 見て、もうめちゃくちゃめっちゃ綺麗なんですけど Your handwriting is so neat すごいなんか可愛い素敵な字をしてらっしゃる You have a really good handwriting That's a lot of words 八百屋さん八百町八百町ね八百万の神とか半熟目玉焼き生食 Oh 生食 is an interesting one Eating raw food いや生食なんか肉寿司とかね I don't know if you've ever heard of like raw meat sushi Never tried it before But it's a thing Eating raw meat Yeah, like sushi Yeah, I don't know how I personally feel about it But I guess it's a thing 橋渡しミイラの漢字 I actually have never seen ミイラ mummy in kanji form Didn't know that's how you write it ぶりこ脂肪濁すOh, just one thing これ一つだけ Let me respond really quick これですね気遣いですね This is, so this, no これ気違いか Oh, never mind I thought it was 気遣い気違い is actually, it's not a swear word but not a good word but yeah I somehow thought it was supposed to mean to care for others, but my bad. I was reading the kanji wrong. 電波系、やりがい、会がある。日給、あ、これでも時給、これですね。So, I will respond to カラさん later. 日給、ひらがな or the reading for 日給 is this. で、時給とかね。Q stands for Okay, so Q stands for paycheck or payment. Nichi stands for day, so Nikyu means daily pay. And then Jikyu, the kanji Ji stands for hours, so Jikyu means hourly pay. Kana? Ah! Kara-san! Hi! I didn't know that you were here. Hi. ということで、Kara-san, go check Kara-san's channel, everybody. ということで、そう、日給、時給ですね。はい。あと、通える月収、所得税、ぽっちゃり、姿勢、決済、チャラいということで、素晴らしい。They're all amazing words to know. 素晴らしいです。So yeah, I guess that's the only thing. Other than that, the only thing I want to say is that your handwriting, I have no idea how you think that you need to work on your handwriting. It's so nice and organized. もう、A 型っぽい。A 型っぽいなって思いました。When we see like really neatly done things, we say that it looks like blood type A kind of a thing. My blood type is also A. I don't know if that helps in any ways. ということで皆様拍手の時間です。お疲れ様でした、カラさん。素晴らしいです。素晴らしいです。Again, I'll put カラさん 's information in the comments later on. カラさんの情報ね、Twitter とかYouTube のリンクとかまた後ほどコメントに貼らせていただきます。I think I should practice with the gridded papers. Gridded papers, it definitely depends on your preference, I think. Gridded papers are always great if you want to get a good balance of things, if that makes sense. But if you want to practice on gridded papers, I do personally recommend you looking at fonts that looks closer to human writing. Let's explain that really quick. I'll explain that really quick. So this is, I think I've realized that this might be one of the hard things about studying Japanese. あ、見えるかな? Wait, what the? Wait, what? Sorry. I'm like, I just... I don't know what's going on with my text. ちょっと待って。Oh my gosh! やばい。I wrote that "a" and I wasn't sure where my "a" was. It was just really big. ちょっと「a」がどこ行ったかな、なんか「a」ってね、タイプしたんですけど、でかすぎて見えてなかったんだ。I think, I don't know why, but like my font is super big. ちょっと待って、I need to adjust it. あ、リスさんこんばんは。手のひらさん、Hi. What's up? Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my size of this massive ひらがな。ちょっと待って、あ、finally. よし。なんだったのこれ。I don't know what just happened. Okay. We should write that big. Well, it's up to you. You'd like if you want to. Okay, so let's talk about fonts really quick. I think this is something that I want to talk about more in the future. But when you practice Japanese handwriting, I see a lot of people looking on the internet, obviously, because it's totally understandable. That's one of the biggest sources and the best sources of learning. But then I think a lot of us dismiss how internet or like online fonts that are used are different from actual handwritings. A lot of fonts are modified and stylized. I think that's the right word for it. So for example, this is the hiragana a, right? これひらがなあですね。But does that mean that this is how we write? Not quite. We don't really write really straight lines. And there's a little bit more angled parts in our writing system as well. So let me look if I can find a better font. ちょっとあるかな。明朝体、あった。Okay, 明朝。This is a lot closer これかな? So fonts like these are closer to our actual handwriting. Let me try to show you the difference. これ複製できますかね? I wonder if I can copy paste this. ちょっと待って。Sorry, I'm so not tech savvy. 私ほんとね、苦手なんですよ。よし。Oh, yay, sweet. 来た来た。MS ゴシックはそうなんですよね。ゴシック体はね、明朝体の方が近いんですよね。Okay, so these are two different fonts. Do you see the difference? The left side is like, I guess like Times New Roman kind of a font. And the one on the right is closer to like, I don't know. I don't really know font names, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. But okay, so I'm gonna show you the difference that these makes. Again, remember, the left side is closer to their actual handwriting. The right side is more stylized. The biggest difference that you can see is in katakana or hiragana like this. さにしとこう。ダメやん。待って。明朝体でもダメじゃないですか。ダメ。ちょっと待って。普通、なんかないの？Never mind, that didn't help. 待って、なんかないかな？This is not the right writing for さ、ちょっと難しいな。ちょっと、if I could just plug in my iPad first. iPad、やっぱあれ買うべきですね。I should really get, what's the name of it? One of those equipments that allows you to, like, plug in your iPad and stuff. Anyways. 音かいでいいかな。いにしとこう。Okay, I'm gonna try to explain the difference. よしよし。そう、くっついてるタイプと下の横棒タイプは同じなんですか？くっついてるタイプと下の横棒タイプ？下の横棒タイプって、そういうことね。同じ、くっついて書くの、なんか我々日本人はくっついて書かないでしょ。なんか書道とかだったら書くんですけどね。そうじゃないのでね、これをそうだと認識するのはちょっと危ないんですよね。特にさとちがめちゃくちゃ近いので、すごい、間違えちゃう可能性があるんです。Okay, so I'm gonna explain really quick with these two hiragana. This is the hiragana I. I don't know if you can see the difference. The left side, the part on the first stroke that goes up, you can probably tell that it's going up after turning inwards a little bit. And then for the second stroke, you can probably tell that there's also this little like thing coming up, sticking out. One thing you want to consider is the fact that Japanese used to be written with brushes. Unlike, maybe European languages where they were written in fountain pens or like those pretty feather pens, Japanese was always written in brushes. Until the invention of pencils and stuff, I guess. So you want to consider how those strokes are being written. A lot of those strokes are being written and is modified from the brush strokes. And that's why we call it brush strokes. If you look at the right side, you probably can tell that it's more stylized. The first stroke looks like it looks like a fish hook, which is not the way it's supposed to be written. Again, this is more stylized. And so when you want to work on your handwriting, make sure you try to find fonts that is closer to human handwriting, or look for worksheets or websites that shows you actual Japanese people writings instead of the computer writing really typing it out for you. That's definitely one of the biggest differences. And so Tsunohira-san and I were just talking about this hiragana sa. Even with the left font, this is not necessarily the normal way or the original way of us writing. In reality, there's a little bit of a gap between the the second stroke that is going down, that is supposed to end there and it's not supposed to continue on. The reason why I want people to try to focus on using worksheets instead of looking at screens is because this, if you write it in this way, it's way too close to the hiragana chi. As you can tell, it looks like they're mirrored, but in reality, they're not really that close to each other. If you look at normal people handwriting, you can try to look it up and hopefully that will help. But again, so for these reasons, I would personally recommend people to try to look for people like normal people writings or worksheets made by Japanese people. There's a lot of resources online that are free. If you want to work on some handwritings, I do also have free downloadable worksheets available. And so yeah, hopefully that helps. But I think using gridded sheets are also a great way to start. Okay. 以上です。Sorry, I know that was long, but hopefully that explained a little bit. 以上です。はい。ゴチ。So it looks like goat, right? The Japanese children first learn writing with brush. No, we start by using pencils. A lot of us do learn, well, in elementary school, there's Japanese calligraphy classes, and that's where we might use brushes. But yeah, it's just the way the language was, like, you know, that's the history of the language, I guess. ということで、Thank you so much for your questions. では、We're gonna move on to the last one. 最後の行こうかなと思います。アリス隊長さんありがとうございます。I'm pretty sure アリス隊長さん is at work now. Today, it's time to get serious. A whole month of doing nothing. ギガドリルブレイクということでね。I feel you. I've also been procrastinating on my personal studies. So, 頑張りましょう。はい、ということでね。吐砂物 is vomit. 取り込む to take in. 肝試し、驚かせ、腹の中結界、突破、breakthrough、昇級、パンピーセロン。Oh, I think this is from my, 呪術廻戦ビデオスかなアリス隊長さんありがとうございます。青木さんこんばんは。キャッさんこんばんは。We're going through other people's posts. 吐砂物とかね。Again, when you want to work on kanji, don't worry too much about the kanji itself, because I honestly don't know how to write 吐砂物 in Japanese either. 私、吐砂物の漢字とか絶対読めないんでね。It's not just you, so again,But good job on trying out 漢字。でも漢字ね、こうやって頑張ってくださってるのは素晴らしいです。Thank you so much for trying out. お疲れ様です。ってことで、アリス隊長さん。パチパチパチ。Okay, it's now time to clap. ありがとうございました。Thank you so much for trying. ゲロって覚えよう。ゲロね。ゲロ。ゲロ中とかね。Oh, I heard 肝試し a lot, but this is the first time I see it in kanji. Yeah, パチパチパチパチ。はい。いや、頂点突破、ギガドリルブレイク、グレンラガンかなはい。でね、ループさんもこんばんは。Hi, thank you for being here. Okay, I know that you were here for a while, but...Okay, では now it's time to answer any of the questions that you have because we have went through all the posts. ということでね、以上皆様のポストになりますので、では皆様のね、質問に答える時間とさせていただきます。Or you can comment on any kind of questions that you have about the Japanese language, any words that you learned that you are not too sure how to use them.Or any grammar points that you have been going through. Feel free to comment as I just retweet all the posts on Twitter. ちょっと先にね、いろんなポストを Twitter でリツイートさせていただこうと思うので、その間に皆様なんかコメントしといてください。よし。 よいしょ。はいはい、あります。Give me a while to type. Okay. I know it takes a while to type, so feel free to take your time. はい。Push. Yeah, me too. We can ask questions here. Yeah, you can ask questions here. So that's how this works. I ask any of the questions that you have. ちょっとね、今日なんかいつも以上になんかあれなんですけど、ちょっとね、寝起きなんでね。I intended to submit my status, but I got stuck in 無限残業編I have some like questions after I wake up. Okay, 頑張ってくださいね。今は台湾にお住まいなのです。Oh, does this mean do you live in Taiwan or are you living in Taiwan? 名前なの confuses me. Okay, ありがとうございます。So, let's talk about this. ではね、これ話しましょう。お住まいってね、あんまり使わないですもんね。よし。あ、めっちゃでかい。Wait, this is way too big. 今は、台湾にお住まいなのです。Okay, this might not be a sentence that people would use. I would use it as a sentence and let me explain the reason why. So, これちょっと振り仮名も足しときますね。振り仮名。今は、台湾にお住まいなのですが、So, I'll explain the reason why I changed this into a question. But 今は台湾にお住まいなのですか is a sentence or a question that means do you currently live in Taiwan? はい。Do you currently live in Taiwan? 今台湾にお住まいなのですが The reason why you might be confused is the usage of お住まいキーボード結構ごっつい音してる。そうなんですよ。キーボードね、買い替えないといけないんですけど、タダでもらったやつなんでね。しばらくは使っときたい。引っ越したら買える予定です。結構うるさいでしょASMR はできるんですけどね。Okay, so the term お住まい is actually an honorific. It's a 敬語 form of the term 住む。住むってどういう意味かわかりますか ?Do you know what 住む means? It's a verb. ちょっと聞いてみよう。住むってどういう意味でしょうかlive そうです。Is it to live? そうです。住む means to live, to reside. Exactly. Now we have the term お住まい。お住まい is not technically a verb. お住まい。これ難しいのがね、これ動詞じゃないんですよね。お住まいです。お住まいって何？いい形容詞かな？ I guess it's E adjective? I don't know. Anyways, お住まい is an honorific, a 敬語 of live. This is これはお住まいは尊敬語ですね。お住まい is 尊敬語 which means it's a respectful form. You don't want to use this term to yourself. 名詞じゃない、名詞ですかね。名詞か。そうですね。これは名詞か。そう。家で生活する。そう。お住まい、家で生活する。So it also means to reside as well. そう。And so that's where the biggest difference is coming you can tell お住まいなのですか? This is at the end of the sentence, which again means, signifies that this term isn't a verb. 敬語難しいですよね。So 敬語 for 敬語, I think the best way is to try to focus on what kind of 敬語 they are. If they are 尊敬語, 謙譲語, like who you're supposed to use it to, that's I think is one of the biggest ways. I think cat-san, I think you told me that you were working on N2. JLPT N2 にね、挑戦してるって言ってらっしゃったと思うんですけど、in that case, I think one of the biggest questions, or a lot of questions on the test might have a lot of 敬語 in it. 多分 N2 とかになってきたら敬語の問題たくさん出てくると思うので、I think it's the best way to tackle them is to figure out who you're supposed to use those words to. Again, お住まい being a 尊敬語, you don't want to use it for yourself. It's a term that you can only use it for other people, which is the reason why I changed this into お住まいなのですか? お住まいなのですか? instead of お住まいなのです。Well, お住まいなのです as long as the sentence ending goes up, お住まいなのです it can sound like a question. お住まいなのですか? Just making sure that it sounds like a question, I think, is an easiest way to tackle it. And so this is a polite, extremely polite way. It's a respectful way of asking another person if they live in a specific place. 例えば、皆さんはどちらにお住まいですか? Where are you in? Where do you live? 皆さんはどこに住んでいますか will be the really casual, polite way of asking that question. But if I wanted to be polite, extra polite to you, if I wanted to make sure that you know that I'm being respectful, I would say, 皆様はどちらにお住まいなのですか? And then now I'm going to explain a little bit about なのです。So, お住まい is the term. And so, これですね。my なの is just a combination of certain phrases, I guess. お住まい again is the ending of the phrase here. なのです。Okay, now let's talk about なのです。なのです。なのです has a very, very specific way of usage. You can simply say です。なのです is just another way of ending a sentence. It can be です。It doesn't change in meaning when you translate it into other languages. But it just adds on some nuances. So なのです by adding なの, it again adds a little bit of politeness to it. かな? はい。なのですと、ですの違いかな。So なのです is, I guess, I'm looking up to right now. ちょっと私もね、間違った情報を与えちゃったら嫌なんでね。I'm looking up as I go. 私も念のため見てるんですけど、okay, so なのです is usually used as a way of explaining things in written forms. If you want to, in speech, it is often used as なんです instead of なのです。なんです。なのです again, written format なんです written format. When you add なのです it usually adds a nuance that you are talking about personal things or you're talking about your personal opinion. When you say なんです it's not something, you're not talking about anything general. You're talking about something personal or you're giving out personal information. So for example, if I say 犬が好きです that means that I like dogs, right? 犬が好きです I like dogs. But if I say 犬が好きなんです、犬が好きなのです、it adds that context that I'm talking about something that is more personal of an opinion for me. And it also kind of sounds a little bit more roundabout of a way of speech. Again, in English, for example, English is a language that you want to be straightforward, but in Japanese, the more roundabout is almost considered that you're talking a lot more softly, that you're talking more politely. And so adding those extra terms sometimes helps with doing that. かな？はい、ということで。以上です。Does that make sense for なのです？ And so you can simply say 台湾にお住まいですか？ But by adding なのですか？ adding なんですか？ it adds a little bit of that like softness to the sentence. 微妙ですね。そう、微妙ですね。微妙な違いですね。とても微妙な、とても小さい違いです。はい。とても小さい違いです。ということで。The dog example is clear to understand. Thank you. The slightly difference is interesting. Oh, よかったよかった。ありがとうございます。そうですね。It's really, really slight in difference. Again, that's why I think it can be really hard to understand these because, you know, when you translate them into other languages, for example, into English, it's going to mean the same thing. I think that's one of the difficult parts when it comes to learning more specific terms or when you dig deeper down into Japanese. Hi. Thank you, because that nuance isn't always dealt within the many resources online. あ、よかった。I'm glad. I'll try to make videos out of these too one day. ってことで、今は台湾にお住まいなのですか？ It's a good sentence to know. You can ask me, 今は日本にお住まいなんですか？ And then I'll say, はい、そうです。日本に住んでいます。Again, even when people ask you using the term お住まい when you answer, you do not want to use お住まい for yourself. It sounds like you're boasting about yourself being prideful. So when people ask you, 今は somewhere にお住まいなんですか？ You answer, はい、something に住んでいます。はい、日本に住んでいます。ということで。Hopefully that helps. ありがとうございました。Thank you so much for the question. 質問ありがとうございました。では次の質問。So, you don't have to wait until the other person's question is answered. You can just keep the questions coming. ってことでね。Go ahead. いくらでも質問してください。Okay. I understand んです etc. much more lately since I've been invited to all JP Discord communities and watch people use it all the time. Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, so again, remember, なのです is more written, なんです is more verbal. かな? Oh, I learned Roman the other day, but I'm not sure how to use it. My friend was using it to describe that he loves the brand so much that he describes it as Roman. Like he's a fanboy of that brand. あ、ロマンですね。ロマン。ロマンってフランス語ですよね、多分ね。Okay, let's talk about the term ロマン。あ、じゃあロマン。そうそう。よく大正ロマンとかで使われますね。When we use it with kanji, it often refers to the phrase 大正ロマン。I do want to explain a little bit about this term because I have seen people not like this term because of the historical context behind the Japanese history. So I do wish to explain it a little bit. So 大正ロマンってちょっとね、例えばインターネット上だったら、日本が大正時代結構いろいろ悪いことしてたっていうので、大正ロマンっていう言葉がね、すごい使ってほしくないっていう方もいらっしゃるので、ちょっとそれの説明だけさせていただこうと思います。So, again, the term ロマン, I think was a more popular term around the Taisho era. Yes, Taisho era was one of those times that in Japanese history that we don't like what our country was doing. But Taisho Roman is a term that refers to the aesthetic that was found in the Taisho era in Japan. This was the time that the Western ideas and fashion and everything came into Japan. So I personally do think that this is a really interesting time, and I love looking at fashion from this time. So you can see a lot of combinations of Western clothing and Japanese clothing, for example. So for example, like Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer is based off, I think, the Taisho era, and you can probably see that a lot of girls and boys wear clothing that is both kimono and that is not. In this time, girls started to wear things like hakama, which was more of a skirt. It used to be worn more by males so that they could run around a lot, and that wasn't a thing, you know. Girls weren't really allowed to run around a lot. This is again the time that people started combining Western clothing with Japanese kimono, and that's how you see boys, for example, wearing white shirts underneath their kimono. And so again, this is the original term, I think, of where the word roman started to come out, I think. Is roman also means story? It can mean like story. It can be. そう。ちなみに日本の言語を説明してって言われたらどうやってするの？日本の言語は、日本の年の数え方っていう風に説明しますね。で、最近だと、日本の、天皇によって年号変わるみたいな説明をします。I like the Takehisa Yumeji illustration in Taisho period. Oh, I love Takehisa Yumeji too. Beautiful illustrations, beautiful illustrations. So again, if you look up Taisho Roman on the internet, you probably just don't see fashion, but also architectural designs and stuff. Again, because this is a time that the Western information of aesthetics started to come into Japan and people started combining the both. ということで、そう、ロマンですね。Let's talk about the term ロマン。So, Roman again is originated from the French word roman. I have no idea how to pronounce it, sorry. But I think it is a shortened version of like the term romantic. It can like cat sunset here. It can be a term that describes like storyline, especially long literature. But it can also mean something like aesthetics, to be honest. It's talking about the emotion. Emotion. Romanticizing things. I have no idea if that's to romanticize. Not too oh my gosh, why am I so bad? To romanticize. Okay, that's the right. Romanticize. Okay, there we go. So it means to romanticize certain things. And so again, Taisho Roman, for example, is a term that romanticizes the fashion and the aesthetics of that time period. Fashion, art, illustrations, architecture. The way your friend used Roman, the Roman を感じる, he feels a sense of emotion to it. He feels a sense of like romanticness to it. And so I'm guessing the way he used ロマンを感じる was probably something close to this かな。感じる means to feel. Yes. So, ロマンを感じる is a term that means you feel romantic about certain things. You feel emotional about certain things. And so, it doesn't have to be always emotional. It can be like, you know, looking up to something. It's like idealizing something. And in a not too bad of a way, like not in a negative way, but in a positive way. So you can say something like, 富士山に登ることにロマンを感じています。ロマンを感じます。富士山、Mount Fuji、登ること to climb. You feel romantic, or you feel a sense of idealizing, or you feel like it's a great idea to climb Mount Fuji. 富士山に登ることにロマンを感じています。みたいな。That's a sign. Sensing start to feel sleepy. Oh. Maybe I am starting to feel sleepy. But yeah, so if you want to use this term, I think the best way of memorizing it is by using the term, or memorizing the term ロマンを感じる。ロマンを感じる。You feel romantic. You feel a sense of romanticness to something. You feel attached to something. かな？はい。Does that answer your question? どうでしょう？質問には答えられましたでしょうか？ロマンの男のロマンとか確かにね使うかも。I'm looking up things. I guess there's terms like 男のロマンlike romantic things for men is what it means. あ、ちょっと待って。I think I dropped a pen. よし。Would you say using the word for an electronic brand is normal, or was my friend exaggerating? なんかエレキロックみたいな感じかな。I feel like I understand much better. Okay, よかった。I think it's pretty okay. なんか男のロマンなんだよねとか確かに言うかもね。Yeah, I don't think it's too weird of a way of using it. Yeah. いいと思います。I think it's a good way of using it. You can either say ロマンを感じる or you put something のロマン。例えば、私はメイド服にロマンを感じます。To me, long made classical made outfits is what I feel romantic about. 私はメイド服にロマンを感じます。So again, you can use it in any ways. はい。Okay. So, hopefully that explained a little bit more. ありがとうございました。Thank you for your question. ありがとうございます。はい。おもろいの来たぞ。してもろて。天城さん、ありがとうございます。質問。ロマン感じてきたな。ロマン感じてきましたか？わささん、こんばんは。ロマン感じちゃって。はい、してもろて、I've been seeing and hearing it a lot. I suspect it was a Kansai origins, but didn't get any clear answers. してもろては別に関西あんま使わないかも。してもろて I feel like it's more used in the VTubing community. でもしてもろてってなんか VTuber ちょうどいいや、わささんいるから。We have another VTuber here, so let's ask わささん。わささん、してもろてってなんか VTuber の中で流行ってる言葉ですよね。他人任せ。お水飲む。してもろて、何々してもろて、てか VTuber じゃなくてネットか。Never mind. I'm starting to feel like this is more of an internet slang. まあ、関西弁っぽい。まあ、でも関西、してもろてええか言うかな。これしてもろてもええでも、あんま使う。I'm trying to think in 関西弁。いや、でもそんな私関西弁使うわけでもないし。別に関西人かって言われたら微妙なとこだし。Yeah, okay, I think it's definitely more of an internet slang. インターネットスラングかな。But I have been studying about different dialects and internet slang, and I read this article pretty recently that talks about how a lot of dialects are starting to be used as internet slangs. でも最近ちょっとね、いろんな、ちょっと勉強をしてるんですけど、いろんな方言がインターネットの用語としてスラングとして使われてきてるみたいなね、記事を読んだんですよ。なので、あながち間違いではないのかな。So again, してもらって is internet slang, and this is short for してもらって。してもらっていいですか？ OK。してもらっていいですか？です。I guess I presumed it was considered because of the rest of the sentence. 助けてもらって本間おきに。助けてもらって本間おきに。That's my really bad 関西弁。私、父が関西人なんで、ちょっと免罪符として、なんか言っとこう。叩かないでください。まあでもしてもろって、まあそうですね。I guess it is 関西弁, but it's not really used. I don't know. I don't feel like it's used. Dialect, oh, that reminds me of people using a hen at the end of the verb to make the negative. Took me months to understand that. ああ、そう、なんかしてみたいな。そうですね。Yeah, there's a lot of dialects. And yeah.So してもろて is short again for してもらっていいですか？してもらう or してもらう is means to have one do a verb, an action. でいいですか？ This is a combination of the te form. これ手形です。はい。ていいですか？てい is the te form. て形わかります？ This is again the te form combined with e. And so, when you combine the te form and e, that means there's a verb in front of it. Verb plus te plus e. Te form. It means, is it okay? Is it okay to do the verb? かな? I need to ちょっとここら辺で変えよう。Okay, sorry. This is a little bit long, but again, してもらって is an internet slang, or I guess it is kansei-ben, but it is used a lot more on the internet. In Japan, it's not really considered. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say things. どうしようかな。But say things that can be a little offensive to anybody or anything. But I would just put it like this. In Japan, it's not considered cool. It's not really a cool thing to imitate dialects. Imagine, just say that you were born in the States and you're trying to imitate the British accent. Yeah, it's fun, but it's not really cool. Or imagine somebody trying to imitate the Aussie accent, or imagine me trying to imitate the British accent. That's not gonna turn out that well. The idea is probably similar to that. So again, yeah. I would just leave it there. But again, してもらって I feel like it is a lot more of an internet used term. For してもらっていいですか, which means would you mind doing this or do this is what it basically means. Because してもらう is to have one do, and てい is it okay to do the verb. It's not okay to do it. Is it okay will be a question. I'll just delete these. Okay to do the verb. So is it okay to have one do the verb? Is it okay for you to do the verb is basically what it means. That's why it comes at the end of the sentence. For example, 休んでもろて. You see that in a lot of VTuber comments. なんか休んでもろて. 休んでもろて. ね。手はこの手じゃないの。Hey, 休んでもろて I'm just gonna leave it to you. I'm gonna ask you, 休んでもろて what do you think it means? What does 休む mean? わかりました。よかったよかった。What is 休んでもろって。休んでもらって。rest そうです。So what does 休んでもらって mean? To rest そうです。So 休んでもらって when people say on the VTubers chat, it means that maybe you should rest. Like I want you to rest. Is it okay for you to rest for me? Is what it means. If you really break things down. But it's more of a casual way of saying it. とか食べてもらってとか。なんかお水飲んでもろてとかYeah, that's how you can use it. Again, I feel like I see this a lot more on VTuber streams than any other places on the internet. 個人的に Vtuber の配信で一番よく見る気がするんですよね。インターネットっていうよりも。So yeah, hope that helps. はい。All done making desserts. I'm also burnt the cream listening to Japanese on the TV. お疲れ様です。Hope your cream isn't too burnt. I hope you can say that it's caramelized. はい。楽しんでもらって Please have fun. そうです。楽しんでもらって means like please have fun. I want you to have fun is what it means. そうです。そうです。Insight is super useful. よかった。Any insight is super useful. よかったです。Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. 以上かな。はい。Okay, after this, I'm gonna go back to cat sounds question. この後、cat さんの質問に戻ろうと思います。Oh, but really quick, speaking about dialect, I once heard Tsugaru-ben in an anime and it sounds like a totally different language. Nobody understands Tsugaru-ben. I shouldn't say nobody, but Tsugaru-ben really does sound like a very different language. そうね、Tsugaru-ben は日本人でもわかんない。There's linguists, Japanese linguists who are trying to figure out Tsugaru-ben. なんか言語学者でTsugaru-ben研究してる方もいらっしゃるくらいですからね。津軽弁はね、難しい。そう。Dialects are honestly really hard. Like, when I speak in my own dialect, a lot of my friends say that they don't understand anything of what I'm saying. But it only comes out when I'm speaking to people that I know well, like my grandparents and my relatives. But again, remember, most Japanese people know how to speak in Kyotsugo, which is the common way of speech, so don't worry. 大丈夫です。What is Mizuki-san's dialect again? I'm not going to say because then people are going to figure out where I'm from. 私の方言は秘密です。I think I'm good enough in speaking Kyotsugo that people don't find out, hopefully. はい。You'll never find out. Never find out. 見バレにつながるんだね。地域バレにつながるから、実家バレにつながるから。OK! では、going back to cat son's comment. 休日なので家で、いたのに電話で会社に呼び出されてしまった。The 正解is くつろぐ but I see another option is のんきにする which I thought it was the answer but then oh! Okay, so the difference between くつろぐ and のんきにする. Let's talk about that. くつろぐのんきのんきにするのんきにするかな Okay, we're gonna talk about the difference between these two. くつろぐ and のんきにする賢いでしょそう I am 賢いです I like the sound of 関西弁 It feels really casual Yeah, 関西弁 is, well Also, I know a lot of people classify it as Kansai-ben, but to be fair, it's not Kansai-ben. Kansai-ben is more of like the region. Like, if you break down into it, there's like Hyogo-ben, toka, Osaka-ben, Kyoto-ben があります. I can say this out loud because my father is from Osaka area, and well, I'm not disclosing where I'm actually from, but my father speaks Kansai-ben, but he's from Osaka area, and I have a really close relative who is from Kyoto, and so I can say this out loud. Kyoto people make fun of Osaka people. Osaka people make fun of Kyoto people. Kyoto-ben speaking people thinks that not all of them, but some people, especially the older generation, thinks that Osaka-ben is too casual to the point that it's dirty, and Osaka people think that Kyoto people are too prideful, and so they're actually pretty different. そう、私父がね、大阪生まれ育ちで、まあ父とは血がつながってないっていう意味でね、親戚の一人に京都の人がいるんですけど、親戚の人って言ったら遠い気がするけど、そこまで遠くない。その京都出身の人は父の関西弁をバカにし、父は父で京都弁をバカにしってね、なんかよくある気がしますよね。はい。だからね、そう、くつろぐはチル、そうです。I think it's 大阪弁 and like 毎度お気に、まあ確かに大阪弁っぽいかな。Okay, そうです。くつろぐ means to chill. Chill. なんでやねんなんでやねんってね。そう。なんでやねんってでも本当に言うかって言われたらなんかそこまで言わない気もしますけどね。Okay, so let's talk about the difference between くつろぐ and のんきにする。はい。くつろぐ and のんきにする。As you can possibly tell, のんきにする。のんき is the term here. ですね。うん。メイド期はどこまで遠くなると耳も尻尾もなくなるの？それはね、ちょっと人によるんですよ。遺伝子のあれでね。人によります。人によります。人によっては私みたいに人間の顔だったり、人によってはもっと獣顔だったり、人によってはもっと人間っぽかったり、人によってはもっと獣感強かったりします。はい。でもみんなやばい変なやつです。はい。そうです。Okay, so くつろぐ means to chill or in better words to relax. And then this is the biggest difference. This is where the difference happens. のんきにするのんき means to be carefree. Or like easy going, for example. のんき。So くつろぐ is almost the state of your action. And のんき or のんきにする well, obviously when you put する on it, it turns it into a verb, but the term のんき is more about the state of your mind, if that makes sense. So that's the biggest difference between these two. Let's go back to the sentence that you wanted to ask. 休日なので家でくつろぎたい。くつろいでいたいかな。くつろいでいたいのに、くつろいでいたのに電話で会社に呼び出されてしまった。It's honestly a little bit hard, isn't it? Because it doesn't mean that it's not grammatically incorrect. It's all about how natural it's gonna sound. ここら辺まで来たらね、文法的な問題ではなくて、どっちの方が自然に聞こえるかの違いになっていきます。So休日なので家で something いたのに I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna put くつろいでいたのに。くつろいでいたのに。Let me add some 振り仮名。ちょっと一応振り仮名も足しておきますね。休日なので家でくつろいでいたのに電話で会社に呼び、これめちゃくちゃ多分長いな。出されてしまった。やばい。Okay, hopefully it's not too small. 小さすぎないといいんですけど、休日なので家でくつろいでいたのに電話で会社に呼び出されてしまった。Again, if you put のんきにしていたのに it's not grammatically incorrect. Again, the biggest difference will be which one is going to sound more natural. のんきにする again, being the state of your mind, it's not too natural when it comes to this specific context. 休日 rest day or a break or probably a day off 家 house 電話call or phone 会社 company 呼び出されてしまった呼び出されてですねこれ This is not でちょっと待って呼び出されてしまったはい呼び出されてしまった呼び出す means to call up like to be called into work for example so because it's a day off I was chilling relaxing at home but I got called into work via phone call by a phone call if any company does that it's time to leave not a good company after all こういうのね実際会社にされたら甘い会社じゃないんでねどっか行きましょうってことなんですけど追求ですので家でくつろいでいたのに電話で会社に呼び出されてしまった Again the reason why this is more natural with くつろぐ is because you are relaxing at home it doesn't make too much of a sense if you state the state of your mind if you say something like I was sleepy at home 家で眠かったのにI guess it's okay but because we are talking about because there's a phrase that says 家で at home it's more normal it feels more natural to talk about the state of not about the state of your mind but about the actions that you're taking 家で like you were eating at home you were sleeping at home you're relaxing at home that feels a lot more natural than using like I don't know I was being carefree I was being easygoing I don't know if that makes any sense どうでしょう I know I probably didn't explain it the best way I could butどうでしょうかわかったかなでもこれね説明もちょっと難しい I think I have to study better in order to explain this better Is it true that Kyoto people don't say things straightforward or only a stereotype? I think it's both I think it's definitely a stereotype but I also think it's pretty true Well, it definitely depends on the person's personality too. So you can't like I can't really say that that's always the norm. But 京都の人はね、私の京都の親戚怖いですわよ。My family members who are from Kyoto are honestly pretty scary. ちょっと怖いです。はい。It makes perfect sense. I was being lazy.よかった。So, I was being lazy is basically what it means かな。Thank you. I can understand it now. Helps a lot. よかった。Not knowing the nuances of both words, I would have chosen Nonki as well. I agree. If I didn't know the nuance differences, I probably would have chosen the other as well. But again, so when it comes to when you're a little bit higher above in like JLPT, or when your Japanese is getting to the point that you're trying to understand like contexts, always remember that there's nuances. Even though there's a lot of words that might feel like they mean the same thing, usually the difference will lie down on the nuances. ということで、質問ありがとうございました。Thank you so much for your question. はい。他にありますでしょうか？ If you have any other questions, let me know. If not, I will end this stream. もしね、他に質問あったら教えてください。なかったら終わります。あったらまだまだ続けます。If there's any other questions, I'm willing to continue on for another 2-3 hours. あったらね。まあでも、京都はね、いいとこですけどね。京都 is a good place to visit, but Kyoto is not a good place to visit at this time of the year. It's way too hot right now. 京都今死ぬほど暑いんでね。京都は今行かない方がいいです。I know a lot of people want to visit Kyoto because it's one of the most touristy places, but do not recommend. Kyoto is a valley. It's surrounded by mountains, which means the heat doesn't have a place to escape. The heat stays in Kyoto, and in winter, the cold stays in Kyoto. So, I have one more, but I don't know if it's a language question or not. It's okay. Go ahead. Ask it all. 2-3 hours. Mizuki sounds very free this evening. Well, I haven't had dinner yet, so...I'll go have dinner after this. でもちょっとなんかね、晩ご飯のタイミング逃しちゃったんで、終わったらご飯食べます。 二郎系とラーメン二郎の二郎はどういう意味ですか？二郎系知らない、私も。I have no idea。二郎系の二郎ってなんで二郎なの？なんで二郎？意味。なんでだろう。I think Jiro is just a name, to be honest. So, do you know what Jiro means? Jiro の意味からいきますかね。Jiro or Jiro かな。two kanjis that we're gonna talk about. 私、二郎系食べたことないんですよ。I've never had 二郎系ラーメン before. 私、二郎系怖くて足踏み入れたことがなくて、I'm too terrified of like the weird rules that they have. 二郎系美味しいんだろうか？美味しそうですけど。大丈夫。Taiwan is super humid and hot as well. Well, I'm pretty sure it is, but Kyoto is a bit of a different story. Wouldn't it be a name? そうです。二郎、ケイサンス。二郎ケイサンスラーメンちょっと違うんですよね。二郎系。Let's talk about the term 系 also. This is the 漢字。二郎系 is 系 is this 漢字。この系ですね。This 系 means style. はい。This means style. はい。And don't forget that kanji can be, there's a lot of kanji that is pronounced the same but means different. For 二郎系ラーメン this is the kanji for it. こちらは45度ぐらい。45度。今どれくらいだろう。I think the biggest thing about Japan is the humidity. やばい。Oh, it's like ビジュアル系。そうそうそう。ビジュアル系、V 系。なんか、V 系はね、visual style. Like, style of people being, like, very visually, people who are into, like, you know, visually satisfying makeup? I don't know. But no, that's what V系is. So, 二郎系 let's talk about the term 二郎かな。食べてもらって。Is that a correct way to use してもらって。Oh! Close! 食べてもらって will be, I will put it on the chat. 食べてもらって will be the correct grammar, right? Hey, but if you want to use the してもろて you have to say 食べてもろて食べてもらってありがとうございます。食べますご飯。I'll go eat dinner after this. そう、漢字だと型が使われること多い。確かにね、いろんな形があるんでね、それによって変えなきゃいけないっていうのが難しいんですけど、この場合、二郎系の場合、この形です。スタイルなんでね。ってことで、so let's talk about the term 二郎。二郎、as Kai-san said, is a name. はい、名前です。boy's name です。Jiro or Jiro is boy's name. Ro is an often commonly found ending for a boy's name in Japanese. なんか、ローで終わるキャラクターいるかなあ、炭治郎いるじゃん。炭治郎とか。炭治郎 from Demon Slayer. 炭治郎ですね。炭治郎。And then the term にthe kanji for ni means two, right? And then the kanji for jiro, the second one, 次 means next です。Taro, so Taro Jiro ね。Oh, according to Google says that in the early 1970s, the first ramen Jiro moved to Mita, Tokyo. あ、三田なんだ。During the move, there is an error in painting the sign using the characters G instead of G for Jiro, the common boy's name. Oh, so it was supposed to be the second one. あ、そうなんだ。知らなかった。Instead of correcting it, the founder, Totsukimi Yamada, decided to change the characters of the name of Jiro, so I guess it's just a boy's name. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. But yeah, so either way, both of the names mean the same thing. To or the next. This is often used for the second born boy of the family. Hey, so this. So, For jiroke ramen, it basically just means like jiro style ramen, as in there, because there's a original jiro ramen store that was just named Jiro, and then all the other ones, all the other ramen stores that came after it was just inspired by it. But at least you now know how to read some Japanese names. So Jiro means the second born boy of the family. Ro is an often used name ending for boys です。はい。ってことで、Does that make sense? どうでしょう？通じましたでしょうか？Lisa さん、I have a question, but I don't know if it's a grammar question because it's a sentence from lyrics. It's okay. Ask it all. どうぞ。質問何でもしてって。ジロケね。でもね、ジロケどこだったら初心者に優しいのジロケ食べてみたいんですけど、ニンニクマシマシなんでしょ？ニンニクマシマシ、なんかバリカタなんとかなんでしょジロケな。食べてみたいんですけどね、怖いんですよね。はい。Okay, so it's a person's name. Thank you. Okay, よかった。Yep, it was originally a person's name. そうです。ということで、ジロケラーメン、バイバイ。バイバイします。ジロケ、美味しそう。美味しそうだけど、but there's a lot of garlic, which means that I won't be able to talk to anybody for the next 2 days. でも、こんだけジロケ、ニンニク多かったら、なんか、2日ぐらい人と話せなくなりそう。と、リズ、そういうことね。Yeah, リズさん、it's okay. You can go ahead and ask the lyrics. どうぞ。In the meantime, I'll just be looking at ramen photos. でもその間ね、ラーメンの写真見ときます。神様だってなんだかんだ悩みあって、What is なんだかんだ、かわいい、なんだかんだなんだかんだ、なんだかんだ is a phrase. It's almost like an idiom. はい。So, pretty simple. wait, where's my text? テキストどこだ？あった。はい、なんだかんだ。なんだかんだ means somehow.Somehow です。はい。かわいい。そう。神様だってなんだかんだ悩みがあって、that means, even gods, they somehow, or, after all の方が近いかな。I guess after all is probably closer in meaning. After all.Even God somehow or after all has some worries is what it means. After all, 待って、there has to be. なんちゃらかんちゃら。ちょっと待って。もうさっきからキーボードが下手。Oh yeah, after all. なんだかんだ。That's what it means. なんだかんだ。です。なんちゃらかんちゃら。そうね。なんちゃらかんちゃら is more of like blah blah blah. なんだかんだ is a little bit more structured when it comes to the usage of words. かな？はい。なんだかんだ。Is this phrase used usually? It's not like, yeah, I would say people use it. 結構使うかなんだかんだ言ってさ。Like speaking of things after all みたいな。例えば、just say that I got mad at master and I decided to, like rant to my friend. And then I'm gonna say something like なんだかんだ言って。好きなんだけどね。いろんなところでのろけをぶっ込むんだ。なんだかんだって好きなんだけどね。I'm gonna rant about it, but I'm gonna end with this sentence. なんだかんだ言って言う means to say, like I know I said all those things after all, but after all, I like him anyways. そういうことです。なんだかんだ言ってとか、なんだかんだ言ってお腹すいたとか、 I don't like, like I probably, the context can be something like I know that I said that I wasn't like hungry earlier, but なんだかんだ言ってお腹すいた。なんだかんだ言ってお腹すいた。That means, like, after all, I'm hungry. I know I said these stuff before, but after all, I am hungry. です。はい。Yeah, I hear a lot of なんちゃらかんちゃら for things they don't remember the name. So なんちゃらかんちゃら blah 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 です。I could use some pointers and using 割とも最近よく聞きますね。結局みたいな意味に近い。そうですね、結局に近いかも。結局、なんやかんやバージョンがある。なんやかんや、お腹すいた。なんだかんだ、なんやかんや。It can also be used like なんやかんや。なんやかんやです。Okay, hope that helps. どうでしょうね。なんやかんや、なんだかんだ。It's just fun to say. It is fun to say. そう、結構楽しい。Thanks. It's from an ending of an anime, so I wonder it can be used in daily life. Oh yeah, I know. Like songs lyrics are a little bit hard to like see if they're used in real life or not. 歌詞はね、確かにね、独特な表現とかあるから難しいですよね。Which anime is it? 確かに何のアニメのエンディングだろう。割と OK、そう、天城さん I could use some pointers in using 割と難しいな。割と I don't know how to explain it。 割とってどういうの？ Oh sorry, I meant the phrase I was talking about is not なんか Oh okay, oh sorry. What was it then? 何だったの？割とさ、割と rather とかかな。Through なんだかんだ is also なんだかんだ is also fun ですね。なんだかんだ楽しい。なんだかんだね。まあそこそこ曖昧な量を表してるからね。そう、日本語ってそういうの多いんですよね。言葉で説明しづらいのみたいな。難しいんだ、日本語。割と Yeah, I would say like rather, but I do want to point out that depending on what comes after, the meaning can fluctuate a little bit. For example, はい、割とお腹空いてるかもしれないです。はい。As you can tell, Japanese is not a straightforward language. It's very roundabout. So if I direct translate this sentence that I just said, 割とお腹空いてるかもしれないです。I might be rather on the side of being a little hungry. はい、曖昧ですね。曖昧だ。割とお腹空いてるかもしれないです。I might rather say that I'm hungry. My question is from 神なき世界の神様活動聞いたことないかも。割と空いてるは結構空いてる。うん。そう。ちょっとお腹空いてる。結構お腹空いてる。I can almost feel how hungry you are. Is it because I keep on saying, like, using the term hungry in my example sentences? ちょっとお腹空いてる。Not sure if question related to Japanese phrases, but how do I keep my Japanese friends from laughing at me when I say majimanji? Majimanji is fun to say. It's only because majimanji is already a little bit of an old term. It was like it was a big thing like 2-3 years ago. majimanji は 2-3 年前の流行りですわよ。嘘 It might not even be like 2-3 years ago. It's like 5 years ago. マジマジもう誰も言わない。Nobody says マジマジ anymore. That's why. 結構空いてるな。So that's the thing. 割と means not too much, rather, but when Japanese people use it, it means that I am quite hungry. Hi. Because, yeah, that's just how the language is. That's a long way to say I'm hungry. Yeah. Yeah. That, I from なんだかん、なんだか言って、言って is to say, but I often get stuck trying to find out what あった or 合ってる is at the end of the sentence. Are there a handful of verbs that could fit in there? Them laughing is a good thing. Yeah, them laughing is a good thing. Okay, so 割と大丈夫ですか？ Are you good with 割と among you some? 割と rather です。割と rather。割と。Yeah, I get it more. よかった。OK、だったら、スニーキートゥーロさん、いただきパンダさんでいけますかね。あってる。OK. So let's talk about these two. これちょっとお話しましょうね。So, for these, the easiest way for me to explain is that these are very different verb conjugation forms. あった this is past tense. 合ってる this is present tense in Japanese. So I know it's big, sorry, it's okay, 大丈夫ですよ. I know it can be confusing, especially when you're like starting out anyways. You're doing great. ということで、あった合ってる let's talk about these. あった is a past tense form. Past tense of ある which means to have. Why is the caps all up in doing that? Us to have. This is one thing I do want you to remember. Ta is whenever a verb ends with a ta. Whenever a verb ends with ta, it is past tense. So, first of all, this is what I want you to remember. There is a way of figuring out there's this like rule of how verbs turn into past tense format, and it's a little bit of a story to tell, so I won't go too much into it right now, but this is one thing I do want you to remember for now. Whenever a verb ends with ta, it is past tense. たで終わったらそれは過去形です。Also, if you wouldn't mind, I'm gonna post this link here. Hi. If you want to learn a little bit more about Japanese past tense. Oh wait, never mind. This is not past tense. Oh, I haven't even posted any videos about past tense. My bad. Sorry. But you can start from here. I just posted a link to the video of me explaining a simple sentence ending for ta desu, hoping that this will help a little bit when it comes to these. This isn't past tense. The link that I posted is just for the video for simple tenses, simple sentence endings in Japanese, but I think this can be a great place for you to start. So again, atta is the past tense of aru, which means that there is. Now we're going to talk a little bit about atteru. Atteru most likely is a shortened version of atteiru. Atteiru. メガネ探してて見つけてテーブルにあったとかも過去形。それも過去形になります。それも過去形です。テーブルにあった、そのテーブルの上にメガネを見つけたっていうのはもう過去の事例なので過去形になります。そうですね。あったは基本的に過去形です。OK、そう、合っている。ている。合っている is a present tense of 合うかな。In this case, there can be multiple meanings to this. It can be to meet. It can mean to be correct. It can be any of those, so I can't really tell you which one. In Japanese, we have a lot of terms that are called doon igigo, which means that they sound the same. The pronunciation, the writing is the same, but they mean different. The main difference happens in the kanji for that term. So for this one, I can't necessarily tell you which one it means, but ateru is a present tense format of the verb au, again, which means to meet or it can even mean to be correct, or it can mean other things. But one thing I want you to know is that this is a verb conjugation format called the te form. This is using the te form. The te form is a way that you conjugate a verb so that you can add other information. You can add extra verbs on it. This is a combination of the te form and then iru. Te form plus iru makes this term teiru. Teiru is used as the present tense in Japanese. So it doesn't mean that having a small tsu will change the meaning of things. It's more about different verb conjugations. はい。メイド服が合ってるねとか、確かにね、似合ってるの合ってるね。はい。So looking up Japanese conjugation table to see an overview of how things flow, that's what helped me when I started. That's a good point. And because Japanese has a lot of verb conjugations, I think at least like having the knowing the overall table might help you a little bit. There is a lot. I just hope that you don't get discouraged. There is a little bit. This. Okay. どうでしょう? Will that answer your questions? 質問には答えられましたでしょうか？タラタラタラ。メイド服が合うはね、似合っているの省略形なんですよね。それが難しいんですよ。もともと似合っているが合っているってなったら、コンテクストが理解できないと、どういう意味ってなったりしちゃうからね。日本語の難しさはそういうところ。逆に英語の簡単さっていうのはそういうところにもあると思うんですよね。英語はストレートだから、ストレートに表現するっていうことに慣れてしまえば、自己表現っていう意味ではめちゃくちゃ簡単になったりすると思うんですよね。Thanks, and don't worry, I'm still 待って。Sorry, I have to really figure out a way to get rid of the heart. I'm still at it after a year or so. Oh, okay. 大丈夫ですよ。It's all good. It's all good. 君の好みならこういう男は合うんじゃないとかの単語は合う。その場合は合う。この場合の合うは似合うじゃなくて、英語で言うとなんか be good with なんで。また難しい。日本語は難しいです。そういうことにしとこう。日本語は難しい。But yeah, thank you so much for your questions. Okay, well, it's already 11:30, and so I guess it's gonna be time for me to go eat dinner. ちょっと晩ご飯食べに行こうかなと思います。And then go to bed. And again, so sorry for not posting the video that I said that I was going to post because I ended up falling asleep. そうなんか本当は今日ね動画投稿しますって言ってたくせにちょっと寝落ちしちゃって I fell asleep. So I will try to upload tomorrow. ちょっと明日には投稿できるよう頑張ります。I'm so sorry. はい。But thank you for being here. My intelligence leveled up. Oh, I'm glad. よかったです。This might not be relevant, but 歩き言葉 seems to conflict heavily with more traditional studies. I get it, but it does add a lot more to it. 歩き言葉 I feel like when I was younger, like when I was in elementary school, my teachers hated them. But I feel like, again, we also have to put into consideration that language evolves. All the slangs becomes the new language, the new context. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people back in the days considered that terms like it is being turned into it might not have been a good idea, but it's really natural and it's normal right now, right? And so I think we have to consider that we have to have a good balance of keeping the tradition but also evolving at the same time. So ら抜き言葉 I don't think it is as viewed as bad as it used to be in the past. はい。うどん食べちゃう。うどん食べるかも。うどん食べたい。でも本当はラーメン食べたい。二郎系食べたい。餃子食べたい。餃子の王将行きたい。でもダメなんです。私なんだかんだ。もう、そう、私結婚式が迫ってんのにね、そろそろ体絞り始めなきゃいけないんでね、頑張んないといけないです。I have to start not like staying up too late. And I have to start exercising more and not eating junk food because my wedding is in like 5 months, like 4 months. やべえ、やばい。Wait, you have dinner at this time? What are you doing 3-4 hours ago? I fell asleep. I got too tired after work and I like knocked out. It wasn't what I was planning on doing. So I think it might be better in some cases where rareru would be causative or passive depending on context. That I do agree. つるとんたんってつるとんたん大好き。つるとんたんのね、明太子のやつが一番好き。つるとんたん大好きです、私。つるとんたん。つるとんたん食べたい。つるとんたん結構いけますよ。私のお金じゃないときにね、自分のお金で出すときは丸亀製麺ですわよ。私、丸亀大好き。でね。はい。丸亀のシェイク食べたことあります？あれ結構美味しかった。あれ美味しかった、ほんと。まあまあ。Okay, well, I will leave you to it. So the next time that we'll have this stream will be in a month. 次のね、次回は、we'll hold this on September 4th. 次回5月4日にこれやろうと思います。そう、つるとんたん、つるとんたかたかのたか。そう、つるとんたかたかのたかなんでね。そう。ご主人様におごっていただくときだけ。I saw a lot of makeup YouTubers use the word akanuke. What does it mean? Okay, we'll end it with that. It might be a bit of a harsh word to be honest, but akanuke means to get more fashionable. And if you break it down, it can sound like a bit of a harsh word. Aka means like dirt on your skin or like buildup of your dead skin. That's what aka means. Nukeru means to get rid of or to pull out. And so, well, I'm from the countryside, so I guess I can say this, but you know, like people used to think that people in bigger cities were more fashionable, right? People in places like the countryside, like places that I'm from, it's more based on doing things like, you know, manual labor maybe, or being in the sun. Like it's, so it's a way for people to describe that you're gotten more fashionable because you got rid of the dirt buildup on your skin or, you know, dead skin buildup of your skin, but turned out like it turned into a word that means to get more fashionable. Hi. Again, okay, so the next time that we'll hold this stream will be in a month. So again, if you're interested, go ahead. You can feel free to post your progress with this hashtag study with Mizuki 2023. I'm usually on Twitter most of the time, so Twitter honestly will be the easiest place for me to check. And then again, come with all the questions that you have next time, and I'll try to answer as many of them as possible. 今日は皆様お越しいただきましてありがとうございました。Thank you so much for being here today. でね、参加してくださった皆さんもありがとうございました。Thank you so much for all of you who participated. I'll see you again in my other streams. Yeah. Check out my videos. Thank you. ありがとうございました。福丸さんこんばんは。ごめんなさい。今もう終わりの挨拶してました。すいません。ということで。 So let me read out your names before we end. 最後にね、皆様のお名前読んで終わろうと思います。いただきマリオさん、Thank you so much for being here. カラさん、お疲れ様でした。Thank you so much for doing this. And thank you so much for posting your progress as well. 福丸さん、ありがとうございました。でのひらさんもお疲れでした。お疲れ様でした。リスさんもありがとうございました。Thank you so much. キャッツさん、Good night. おやすみなさい。スモールディミーさん、おやすみなさい。ということで、皆様、Thank you again so much for being here. I'll see you again soon. それではまたお会いしましょう。ごきげんよう。バイバイ。お疲れ様でした。天岸さんもお疲れ様でした。ループさんもお疲れ様でした。ある意味、グッドタイミング、ベストタイミングでした。では、バイバイ。